Hi everyone, this is Rachel Blair Vogt, your personal librarian for the diseases of the 21st century, and this is the second video that I've just done for you. So today we are going to be talking about the library resource, the library research assignment. This has a homework that's attached to it, and so this video is going to help you get started on that homework. All the things that go on during the video will apply directly to the assignment at hand. That assignment can be found under the Assignments tab right here. After the global aspect topic, I'll be attaching it as soon as this video is done right to here, and this is the instructions. You'll be filling out the creating a search strategy in order to complete this homework, which is due by June 2nd. So we are going to first go to the research guide, which is located under the Ask the Librarian tab here. This research guide, just like we did before in the global abstract topic, will take us to the second tab that we are interested in, which is now we've explored our topic, we know which one we want to pick. You probably already completed that part. That should be the first step that you do, is watch that video and go through these sources. The next one is the articles tab, and we will be investigating more into Academic Search Premier, which is a really interdisciplinary database that you might have used before that includes magazines, journals, newspaper articles on a wide range of topics. Before we jump in there though, I want to pull up the actual assignment, if I can do that. One second. So here it is. This is what the assignment looks like. So I'm going to go through this with you so that you get a handle on what I'm looking for. What I'd recommend is you actually pause the video right now and go ahead and download the homework from the assignment page and then follow along and take notes, because everything that I say, as I said before, is going to directly apply, so it would make sense to kind of follow along. So why don't you go ahead and do that, and then we'll move on. Okay, so the first thing my topic in the video before was malaria, so I'm going to keep on going with that one. And I've already sort of pre-filled this out, so we're just going to go through it. So since I've picked a topic, this is asking me to summarize it. It says to describe your topic in 2 to 3 sentences. What questions do you want answered? So I write, and this is what I'm looking for you to do, to write what disease you're thinking of doing, and then what information you want to find out about it. So in this case, I want to find out about diseases, the disease's history, prevalence, treatment, and causes. I found all this information under the syllabus. If I went under syllabus right here, it gives you a larger explanation into what we're actually doing. So this research assignment that I'm having you do right now is related to the research abstract, the overall project that you've got going here, and I'm pulling out of what the professor wants my outline. So I know I've got my topic of malaria, so what about malaria do I need to know more about? That would be kind of where I'm going to start looking for articles. So I see here that it says the history, the prevalence, detection, prevention, treatment, and then the future outcomes. So that's what I used when I was filling out to summarize my topic. Well, I know I'm doing malaria, and what about it do I need to know? And those are the things. I'm also curious, based on that and based on sort of my preliminary research that I did in the CDC, I want to know more about what countries it affects specifically, and maybe if there's reasons, whether or not they're social or political reasons, and then what happens if malaria isn't treated and people are not taken care of. So that's sort of the start. So this next step, this is all to build a really effective search in a database so we don't waste our time there. So if I've got that kind of list started, the next step is to pull out the keywords or the main concepts that are in the summary I just wrote. So you can either underline or highlight these. I decided to underline them. So I went sentence by sentence and just pulled out the keywords. So I see my topic is the disease malaria. So I underlined disease because that's the main, that's one of the main concepts. Malaria is the disease that I'm doing. And then I want to find out about the diseases. So history, prevalence, treatment, causes, those are all keywords that I could search. Basically, I would probably be doing a search just on history and malaria, just on prevalence and malaria, and so forth. So this is a couple different searches I could do in a database to find articles. And then what countries does it affect? So countries, I could do a search that would target where it actually is impacted the most, and then what maybe those social or political reasons. And then since I already had malaria in there, I didn't need to underline it again, but I found untreated. Maybe if I did a search for that, that would give me more information about what happens when malaria is left on its own. So then, once you've completed that step, you're going to take all those keywords and list them out. So step 3 wants you to list your concepts. And then you're going to take a look at each of those individual keywords, disease, malaria, history, prevalence, etc. And think of other ways that they could be said. Is there any synonyms? Is there alternative spellings? Any of those things. So I went ahead and already did that. And I see here it says malaria. I looked up when I had done my preliminary research in the CDC. This is the scientific name. I think there's other ones as well, so I could do a couple different from here. I took disease and I thought of other ways that it could be said. Illness, symptoms of a disease. Then cause, I thought, well, I heard that it's mosquito, but there's obviously they're the carrier, and that a parasite is really what transmits. Then I looked at treatment and thought of other ways. Prevalence, history, I thought of past and origins, and so on. With political, if I was trying to get at the political reasons that maybe a country is more affected than others, I thought maybe the government had to have something to do with that, or their infrastructure. So those are some of the examples. So there is a second part to this, which we're going to jump into the database now, and I'm going to be outlining these exact questions as I go along, so this will be what you'll need to fill in as you go. Okay. So let's go over to that research guide. I think it was under the Ask a Librarian tab. And then the Diseases Research Guide. And so we're going to open up Academic Search Premier. Okay. Alright, there you are. Okay, so I think I'm interested in, well, obviously I'm going to do malaria, and that needs to be the main keyword. So I'm going to do and another keyword. This is a Boolean operator, this and, this option for or this option for not. And means two words, connecting two words, have to be found in the search. So every article that gets pulled up in the results will have to include the two keywords, or the three keywords, since I could do and again, that I select. So I think I'll do, I'm interested about the country or the region. So you'll see here that I could have just done country, and I could have done malaria and what country it affects, but I thought that it might not be just isolated to one country, and that region maybe would get at other articles. So I was just trying to get my mind in what the author might write. Sometimes or is good because it just gives you more options and will expand your search. And then I want to know in context, okay, so malaria in country or region will pop up, articles that have to do with that topic, but what about that do I want to know? And I'm interested in maybe the cause. So I'm just going to start with that. That's a really basic search, but we'll go from there. Okay, so one of the first things that I look at before I get too far down the list here is how many results I have. So 750 is a lot of results. I'm thinking I probably want to limit that because I don't have enough time to go through 750. one of the first things that I'm going to do is limit the search. So narrow it down to really what I'm looking for. And 1983, this shows that there's articles that showed up in this result, the results from 1983 to 2013. So I think I'll put this up to about the past 5 or so years. And so that got my results a little bit down. The other thing that I think I'm going to start with, since I can use everything from scholarly journal articles, newspaper articles, or science magazines, I'm going to start with magazines and newspapers. I don't know a lot about this topic, and so looking at those two sources will be easier. And then maybe later on I'll look at the scholarly journal articles that are more complex, something I can probably handle once I know the topic better. So I'm only going to be looking at the sources that are from magazines and newspapers. Alright, 25, much more manageable. So let's see. So as I look at this search here, I see the very first one, Hunt for Malaria Vaccine Raises a Storm, from the New American, and it was from 2011. I'm going to take a look at this one. So the abstract is going to tell me a little bit about what the topic has to do with. So it looks like there's a new vaccine in Kenya, but it also covers other countries. The World Health Organization, that might be some organization I'll have to look into, says that over 1 million have been annually affected. So this could be a good article to sort of jump into. On the side here, if I wanted to get this one, looks like the PDF is right here. All I need to do is click and open it up, and it will load right away. So this could be a great one. I can email this, I can save it, or I can export it to RefWorks if I've got that. Alright, let's keep on looking. So if I scroll a little bit further, I wonder what Bad Air has to do with. Looks like it's a periodical of some sort. Harper's Magazine, I think I've heard of that magazine before, in 2011. That's pretty recent. Looks like this is an essay discussing the history, which is actually something I want to look into. Public health initiatives and the politics involved. Wow, this might actually cover a couple different parts. And then gets into a book, which I could actually look at too, about malaria, in particular parasites. Wow, this seems like this will be a good one. So since I don't see the PDF here, I'm still going to go ahead and click on check for full text. What this will take me to is either a link to say we don't have it, but we can get it from another library, or it's going to take us to another database that does have it. So I see the citation information right here, and then it says, sorry, we don't have this, but request it through interlibrary loan. So I'm going to click on this ILLiad login to request it. And this part right here is actually for Durham students. What we're going to have you do is click on the UNH Manchester users and fill out this little form. Right here will be just your contact info, and then we're going to go back and forth writing down Harper's, volume, date, so forth, in this citation info. And then you'll just send it off. Very easy. I recommend that you do it. It will arrive in your email, and we'll just be getting it from another library. Alright, let's keep on looking. Climate change in malaria. That looks interesting. Effects of malaria on the eye. Controlling the spread. Let's take a look at saving a program that saves lives. Yeah, let's take a look at that one. So this one is from the New York Times from 2012, from November. The author focuses on the Affordable Medicines Facility program in several African countries, evaluates the program. So a little bit more about what's being done. So this potentially could be a good article to take a look at. I'm going to check for full text since I don't see it here. Okay, so this was the other scenario I was just talking about, where the other one told us, no, sorry, we don't have it, go ahead and interlibrary loan. This one is pulling up, yes, we do. We have it in National Newspapers Expanded or Opposing Viewpoints. We're just going to take you to that database to actually get it. So all we need to do is actually click on this little article link, and it should pop right up. So it looks like it's right here. So just to review what we discussed, we talked about a couple little things. We talked about using multiple keywords. So we're obviously going to use malaria as our main choice, or our main topic, because that's what the disease that we're focusing on. And then what about we want to know? Well, we wanted to know more about the countries that it affects and what causes within those countries. We ended up pulling up in our results everything from how the disease was actually transmitted. We also found out about social and political reasons that it might be worse in certain countries. And we could continue to limit our results by adding another row, maybe treatment could go in here. A variety of things we could do. The other ways that we limited it was through the date. We decided we only wanted to look through the past 5 years to know what's going on most currently. And then the next thing that we did is we selected the source type. So we decided that we were going to start with magazines and newspapers because those seemed like the easiest easiest start. So that is it for now. Your assignment's going to be asking you to find 2 ones that have to do with your topic and providing the citation info, which will be right here, and a brief 1 or 2 sentences or a couple sentences about how this relates to your topic and how it might be a helpful one for you to use. And this could be a source that you could use later on in your final project. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask me. You can find my contact information under Ask a Librarian right here. And I am here to help. So thank you. Have a good one.